Hey guys, Ethys here, and a lot of people have been asking me questions about Dragoon recently, considering I got to spend a reasonable amount of time hands-on with Dragoon at level 70 at the media tour last month, and apparently the coverage of the job so far has left a few unanswered questions. Well, I've got your answers, but we're going to take it from the top. Today I'm going to show you how Dragoon has changed, how its new rotation behaves, and how your Life of the Dragon micromanagement actually works. Before we start, it is important to remember that all of this footage is from the game still technically in development, and everything from potencies to effects is still subject to change. Furthermore, you're going to see me make some mistakes in the footage as I fumble around trying to work out Dragoon at level 70 in real time, so although I'm going to show you as much visual evidence as I can for the unanswered questions about Life of the Dragon, much of this is a case of do as I say, not as I do. And with that out of the way, let's spine shatter dive right in. Get it? Because spine shatter. For your single target rotation, phlebotomize is gone. Power surge, gone. Feint, no surprises. Cross-class skills are gone and replaced with job actions, so I'm sorry to say that you've got no internal release for Dragoon. Keen Flurry, I don't want to talk about it. Now there are of course a number of new tricks in our repertoire, but I'll talk about those as we proceed. For your basic rotation, you want to get up heavy thrust, then proceed with your impulse drive combo followed by your true thrust combo. Rinse and repeat, too easy. The trait Lance Mastery, acquired at level 64, however, makes the wheeling thrust at the end of your combo automatically proc Fang and Claw, and vice versa, so each of your basic combos will now end with both of these, one after the other, for a complete 5 global cooldown combo, provided you haven't dropped Blood of the Dragon. Rather than being purely random, as it was previously, Wheeling Thrust follows Chaos Thrust every time, and Fang and Claw follows Full Thrust. So starting with Heavy Thrust, you've got a pretty basic 11 global cooldown rotation. Now, whereas Dragoon in Heaven's Ward was all about pushing out as many Gears Kogels as you could without dropping Blood of the Dragon, Gears Kogel now no longer shaves 10 seconds off your Blood of the Dragon timer. Its cooldown has also been increased from 10 seconds to 35. The main objective of your rotation now is to enter and spend as much time as possible in the Life of the Dragon state. Here's how you do it. With Blood of the Dragon active, every time you use either Jump or Spine Shatter Dive, it will proc a new ability called Mirage Dive. This is an off-global cooldown ability with no animation lock, and using other weapon skills between Jump and Mirage Dive will not remove the proc. Essentially, you want in most situations to be weaving it between the global cooldown after you jump and not hammering it immediately after the jump and subsequently clipping your global cooldown. Executing Mirage Dive successfully will give you 1 stack of an entirely new resource, Eye of the First Brood. With 4 of these eyes on you, indicated by your chub gauge looking all angry like this, the next time you use Gears Kogel, you will drop the stacks and enter a new state called Life of the Dragon. The time that you can spend in Life of the Dragon is the same as whatever time you had on Blood of the Dragon when switching between these states. Given that there is no way to replenish the Life of the Dragon timer as you do during Blood of the Dragon, you want to enter Life of the Dragon as close to the 30-second maximum as possible. So ideally, you should execute that final Gears Kogel at the very end of a 5-part combo to ensure this. Upon entering Life of the Dragon, your Gears Kogel cooldown is reset and replaced with Nastrond, a more powerful ability with a recast timer of just 10 seconds. Naturally, you want to weave in as many of these as possible before Life of the Dragon runs out, and the magic number there is 3. When Life of the Dragon hits 0, you will automatically re-enter Blood of the Dragon at 15 seconds with no effect to your Blood of the Dragon cooldown, and you should proceed directly to getting those eyes open and building back towards Life of the Dragon. One thing that is not made clear in the tooltips, but which I've confirmed through my experimenting, is that you can still use jumps into Mirage Dive whilst in Life of the Dragon, and it will give you stacks of eyes that will persist after Life of the Dragon has reverted back to Blood of the Dragon. To make this point directly, yes, you can pre-charge your eyes during Life of the Dragon to be able to re-enter the state even faster, and should therefore not be leaving your jumps off cooldown while you wait for Life of the Dragon phase to end. The Life of the Dragon tooltip does not currently say whether it buffs the potency of jumps the same way that Blood of the Dragon does, but I think it's reasonably safe to assume that it does. If you drop Blood of the Dragon at any time, you will lose all your eye stacks, so this might make mid-fight downtime particularly painful. That said, the recast timer of Blood of the Dragon has been reduced to 30 seconds, so if you do drop it, you can recover it pretty soon. That's pretty much it for single target, except of course for a new ability called Dragon Sight, which you can cast on a party member within 6 yalms to buff your damage by a flat 10%, and theirs by 5 for 15 seconds, provided you remain within 6 yalms of one another. As for AoE, Ring of Thorns has been removed and replaced with Sonic Thrust, a straight line AoE that combos from Doomspike. Your AoE rotation will be to spam these in succession whilst weaving in whatever Dragonfire dives and Gearskogels or Nostrons you have available. And that's it for Dragoon really. You have a fair number of role actions to choose from, which I'll throw up on the screen now, but that's us. I mainly wanted to make this video to address some questions and confusions regarding the more intricate workings of Life of the Dragon, and I think we've managed to do that, so I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any further questions, do of course drop them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer the ones that I can. For now, check out the rest of the channel and feel free to subscribe for more Stormblood content. Share this video with your Dragoon friends, and until next time, I'm Ethys. Thanks so much for watching.